CES is the place to be for companies to unveil their new electronics, and I saw thousands of new smart home devices when I was there in early January. Robot vacuum cleaners, robot pool cleaners, robot mowers, smart lights, you name it, it was there. But there were some that just stood out more to me for how unique they were. So here's my top 5 favorite smart home devices from CES 2025. Tapo unveiled their new S6 series of smart switches. All of them will work with Matter and have energy monitoring. There was one in particular that stood out to me. It's what they're calling their human presence sensor dimmer. It takes a smart dimmer switch, and inside of it, they embedded a millimeter wave presence sensor. So built into one switch, you have a dimmer and a presence sensor. And I love presence sensors because they can detect even the slightest movement, like your heart beating in your room, to make sure your lights stay on. Now, this one is obviously cool because it's combo. It works with their new Atom Link technology, which is a really unique way to work around putting smart bulbs on smart dimmer switches. That's cool about it. The only other company I've seen that's working on a combo like this is a small company called Innovelli, and they're working on a Zigbee and a Z-Wave version. So it'll be interesting to see who makes it to the market first. But either way, I love the idea of combining a presence sensor with a smart dimmer switch. Really cool. Reolink was at CES 2025 with their new Altas series of battery-powered cameras. Now, ideally, all your exterior cameras will be hardwired so you can do 24/7 recording. And you normally can't do that with battery-powered cameras because it would just drain the battery. But Reolink has somehow figured this out with some really low power consuming electronics. They now have this Altas series that when it comes out in Q3 this year, it'll be able to do 24/7 recording on battery. And they're saying that battery can last up to 7 days doing 24/7 recording before you can either recharge it with their solar panel or plug it in. Now, there are 3 models in this Altus series: a 4K pan, tilt, and zoom model, a 2K with Wi-Fi and cellular coverage, and a 2K fixed lens version. All 3 of these will have micro SD cards on board, or they'll be able to work with their base station so you can record back into your house. But it's really unique to see a battery-powered camera that can record 24/7. Really cool. Number 3 in my top 5 is the Aqara Panel Hub S1 Plus. Now, I've always loved the idea of having a screen built into a light switch that you can use as a dashboard around your smart home. Brilliant was the first one that I saw us do this in North America. And ever since Brilliant did it, I haven't seen anybody else do it in North America, only a couple companies over in Europe. But Aqara is going to bring this Panel Hub S1 to North America this year. It'll have a 7-inch screen that is built to fit onto a light switch. And on this screen, you'll of course be able to view your Aqara products like their cameras and doorbells, lights, things like that. But it will also act as a Matter controller. So you can put Matter devices onto there, control other products from other brands, which looks very nice. In their booth, they had it set up working with Eve light panels, so you can set scenes and turn them on and off and things like that. And it will be really nice if you have like a car doorbell to be able to pull that up instead of having to dig your phone out. It's also really good for things like guests and family that are coming over to be able to control your smart home without having to give them access to the mobile app. Really looking forward to this S1 panel coming out from Aqara. Number 2 on my list is this. This is ThirdReality's Smart Mechanical Keyboard. It is a wired keyboard. It obviously has some cool RGB designs you can put on it, but it's also a smart keyboard. And the way they've done this is it actually has 10 Matter exposed buttons on it, F1 through F10. So when you hold the function button and you press F1 through F10, that acts as a Matter button through whichever Matter controller you hook it up to, whether it's Apple Home, Home Assistant, Smart Things, wherever. This is actually a really unique idea that I've never even thought of, but it makes sense. If you're like me and you work from home a lot, you can sit your keyboard in front of you and you can use it to control your smart home without having to really lift a hand. Just press a button and you have 10 button options to control things around your house. Really unique idea. This is actually on pre-sale already for $80 on the ThirdReality site. It'll ship towards the end of March. Since I already have it, stay tuned. I'll have a more detailed video on how I'm using this in my smart home. And the number 1 smart home device for me from CES 2025 was the Roborock Saros Z70. A lot of you have probably seen this from CES coverage because it was totally wild. This is a robot vacuum that has an arm on top. Something, once again, I did not expect to see at CES this year. But it's kind of genius when you think about it. You know, if a robot vacuum runs into something right now, it just goes around it and that leaves that spot of your floor dirty still. This little robot arm can pick up whatever is in the way, move it to somewhere you assign in the app, come back and clean that part of your floor, giving you total cleaning coverage. Now, I expect this first generation will be a little limited. They did say it can only list like 300 grams, but just the concept of the whole thing is super cool. So this was my number one smart home product from CES 2025. It'll be coming supposedly in the middle of this year. So that's it for my top 5 smart home products from CES 2025. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Is there anything I missed? Let me know in the comments what you think. As always, if you enjoy this content, subscribe.